Okay, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. You were talking to me about this movie a while ago and you're like, what, he's playing himself, it's kind of lame, Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage, and then you watch the trailer and you're like, oh, that actually looks pretty good. And it was. I actually really liked it.
It's kind of a cliche movie on built in with the government and the cartel or whatever the fuck
it did seem a little interviewy where...
And normal people doing like
yes,
things they would never do.
But I do love movies based on making movies, and you get kind of like interesting little details of making it and the funniness of writing a creative story and everything like that. And here it's different because it's Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage about making a movie, and he's pretty much making fun of his career where he makes some weird choices and now he's kind of been forgotten a little bit. But he was always kind of that actor that you would always kind of think of, one of the most popular.
One of the biggest ones.
Yeah, one of the most popular. And here he was freaking hilarious. And so was Pedro Pascal, and those two together were the best part in this movie, even though it's a movie based on those two, their experiences with each other, pretty much. So it's a little bit like Tropic Thunder, too. No, but I freaking loved it. I thought it was hilarious. Pedro Pascal's little schoolgirl giddiness around Nicolas Cage and everything.
A fangirl for sure.
Yeah, and I loved it. He nailed it. What else?
I also liked his inner Nicolas Cage. They talked
Nicky?
to. That's supposed to be like his ego and his insecurities at the same time.
Yeah.
That's why it looks so weird. And he's kind of running his life, running his insecurities as an actor.
Yeah. It's young him, young famous Nicolas Cage, whose ego is probably...
But I feel like you might have used him in the... where he's like, he starts doing the line from the beginning of the movie. It's kind of badass and saying like, oh, I'll kill you before, you know, your ass puckers or whatever it is. And he like starts to kill people and stuff. I'm like, oh, alright, Nicolas Cage kicking ass as Nicolas Cage. But
they had a lot of callbacks, obviously, to a lot of his big hits, and I love how they had the pistols from Face Off, and they mentioned some stuff from Gone in 60 Seconds. I wish when he was driving that there was going to be a little bit more of a wink and a nod to that movie, because that's one of my favorite movies of Nicolas Cage. So I think it's a very unique and awesome idea to have actors play themselves, talking about their careers in a certain way, kind of making fun of themselves.
Yeah, he made fun of himself so no one else can really do that now.
And that takes pause, and that's confidence. And holy
it's
shit.
a good movie, so...
Yeah, and it's good. So it worked.
More.
It did work. So I would actually be okay with other actors kind of doing shit like this, where they make fun of themselves. Then you get their fans laughing and the people who don't like them laughing because they make fun of them.
I don't get the hype on that hate train for Nicolas Cage.
I think it's just because he's like a crazy actor and he's like outside the box.
Those are the best actors.
Right.
But it's not really his fault that really the industry's kind of left him behind, where the old stuff was where he was popular, and now this new era where we don't really care about our movies. And they kind of said that in here too. They brought up Marvel and Star Wars. And
he goes, "This is a movie for adults, big people."
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying about movies that are based upon, you know, making movies, and this is unique because it's an actor playing himself making a movie inside of a movie. So it's got a lot of layers. So, and
how the ending.
And they made fun of it too, and him and Pedro Pascal were talking about how they're gonna end the movie, and they're like, we don't want to turn into another cliche, you know, action-packed third act. And then you get an action-packed third act in this movie. So, I love it.
And very cliche.
Right.
For the genre that it was squeezing itself into, I'd give it a good, like, 9.5.
Really?
I don't really see
I give it a 9.
The reason to, other than the over-the-top Nicolas Cage acting, but again, that's kind of the whole point of it.
I am really happy that Pedro Pascal ended up turning good, because you were falling in love with him. Yeah, you were just falling in love with him. Like, how is he gonna turn into this evil dude at the end? And it turns out it's not him, it's his cousin or whatever. So I was like, okay, yes, thank God.
And really all he wants is just someone to pick up his script and Nicholas to act in it.
Oh, it's so funny. His girl like nervous, like, like meeting his hero. He doesn't want to screw it up, but he wants him. Yeah, he wants to be his best friend. He ends up being his best friend. So yeah, I love that. I love that whole idea. Yeah, okay, so Unbearable Unbearable Weight of
Massive Talent.
Massive Talent.
A very awkward title.
Awesome movie. That's our review for it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.